Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Nick from MMA Pixels here with Ricky Galvez. Ricky has a big fight coming up for the heavyweight title, 5150 Fight Night 5 against Jason Fonzi, August 25th. How you doing, Ricky?
I'm doing good in yourself.
Doing great, man. I did a whole preview show on this card. There's a lot of
Okay.
good fights coming up, but the main event is you.
Yeah.
So last time we talked, you of course you went on to win a unanimous decision,
Yeah.
and going into that fight, it was your first heavyweight fight. You had been fighting that super heavyweight. How
Yeah.
was the weight cut and all that?
It was good. I've always said I wanted to fight heavyweight, and but my opponents in the previous fights they were all super heavy. So I'm like, hey, if I don't have to cut, I'm fine with that. I'm a big guy. But heavyweight, to get down, it was fairly easy. It's just committing to it. So
Right. And so this being a title fight, anything you're doing differently to prepare?
just working, training a lot harder. My last three fights, I've won them all by unanimous decision. But I'm a firm believer in never leave it in the judge's hands. So I've been working a lot on my weaknesses, what my coach has been telling me what I need to work on, and we've just been addressing that and working that and doing it. So I want to, win this title fight, not by decision. I want to, firmly, for everybody could say like, hey, you know what, that's the heavyweight champion for a reason, not by decision, but by knockout, by submission, by whatever comes. But a definite win.
Right. Leading into your last fight, you said you were working like a lot on your striking. Is that
Yeah.
still the focus in your camps? Or are you more like all around now?
It's still one of my main things because, like, on my previous fight, my opponent he was 6'8", and my jabs they were not landing. They were not, if I would have paid more attention, I would have been, hitting the body, so he could come down towards me and then, be like a Tyson or a Mark Hunt type fight where they finished the fights and they fought tremendous guys that were way taller. So it's something that I've still been working a lot on, striking.
I spoke with Jason earlier this week, and I was talking about wrestling being a big factor in this fight. He
Hmm.
kind of agreed with me. He said that you're a really good wrestler, and he
Yeah.
doesn't know how his skills will match up with that. So he's not sure if it's going to be standing, if he's going to cancel it out or not.
Yeah.
How do you feel wrestling's going to take part in this match?
Wrestling's always been my strongest foundation. That's what my freshman year I wrestled, and I've been doing jujitsu, and so that's my base. That's my go-to. That's what I know I'm good at. But it's an MMA fight, so it's mixed martial arts. You got to have all the weapons. The more weapons you have, the better you'll be. So I'm gonna figure it out once we're in there. We'll see.
Yeah. Last time you said you didn't really watch anything on your opponent. Well, I guess there wasn't anything out there. Have you seen
Yeah.
anything on Jason?
Um, yeah, he added me about like 2 months ago on Facebook. I didn't know who he was, and I saw that he knocked out uh, the my first opponent, my first fight ever. So I saw a few clips on him, and I my coach always tells me, hey, it's the fight game. Anything can happen in a fight, so don't really pay attention to the past. Just learn. Kind of use some film. But no, it's still the same thing, man. I go in there, blank slate. We'll see what happens the night of the fight.
Right on. And this is what fight? How many fights have you had?
This is going to be my fourth fight. I've had three fights.
So this is you won't have the shin pads on, correct?
Yeah, no shin pads. This is all. The only thing protecting us is the gloves. So
Right.
it's going to be good.
And I know last time we spoke, we talked about your mom not really watching the fights.
Yeah.
Did she happen to watch the last one?
All right. So this last fight, once again, she was outside. And after the fight, went out and she was so happy, and she goes, Mijo, for the next fight, I'm going in. And I was like, you know what, Mom, you keep staying outside. I'm undefeated that way. Let's just keep it that way. And then she goes, okay, but so yeah, she's staying outside. Mom, if you're watching this, you already know the drill.
So how does she get the message? Like, do you go outside and tell her, or does someone
Yeah, like
else?
well, I don't know. Like every time I go out, how's it been? Like this last fight, she was just outside. She was waiting in the car with one of my brothers. So it's just like I think they saw it on Facebook Live. So she was watching some of the fight, but yeah, that's how basically.
Right on. That's cool though, man.
Yeah.
Are you like really superstitious like that?
Um, I come from a Mexican background, Mexican culture. We believe in, a lot of different things, right? But firmly, I'm not. Like, if whatever is going to happen. Not because, I didn't knock 3 times before I walked into the ring, like, so whatever happens, happens. I know if I prepare, if I work hard enough, my hand's going to be raised up again. So sometimes I am, but mostly, no, I'm not.
Right. This will be for a title.
Yeah.
Everything goes your way after this fight.
Hmm.
I know previously you said at least a year in the amateurs. We
Yeah.
still got a few more months. You think you'll get in another fight after this one?
Well, my coach told me in the beginning was we're gonna go at it amateur 1 year, and we'll see where you at from there. So far I'm 3-0. This year is gonna be up basically. So if I win this title, that's the main thing on my mind right now. And after that, we'll see where it goes. Whatever my coach is what I do. So the first thing, because different promotions have hit me up, asking me for different fights. And it's just like, so I screenshot that, send that to my coach, and he goes, "You got this fight coming up. Worry about that. We'll talk about that when the time comes."
Right.
So we'll see. Yeah.
What does that look like for you though? Like, what do you envision being pro? Like, how does your life change, or
My
does
life's
it at
gonna.
all?
Once I'm at the pro level, I know I'm gonna have to train a lot more, do and just make. This is my profession. You're a professional, and right now as an amateur fighter, I work at Costco part time, and the past 4 months I was working at a casino full time. So I had 2 jobs, and my training was cutting down. Right, like I know I wasn't performing the best, so I really had to reevaluate what I was doing. So I needed the job because of the money, but it's one of those things with fighting. Once you become a professional, you're gonna have to make a sacrifice with certain things. So there's not a lot of money in this sport in the beginning, as you know, but I know if I put in the work and everything I do, eventually it's gonna pay out. So my life will change drastically because I'll be doing what I love doing 24/7.
Right. I know a
So
lot of people like supplement their fighting career with instructing, training. Is
yeah.
that something you do as well?
Um, at the facility that I train, we train in Merced, and there's this warehouse called Swag, and we use that warehouse. And there was in the summer they had a summer program. So while we were training, there was a bunch of little kids, right, and they were watching us. So after training, I'd sometimes show them a few combos, things like that, and it was fun. So who knows, maybe I might be teaching too. But as an amateur, I'm just building up first before I can teach.
Right. I'm
But
sure
that would be something I'd like to do, be able to teach.
as you start collecting titles too, I'm sure people will
Yeah,
seek you out and want to learn.
yeah, no, definitely.
So where can the fans connect with you on social media?
I'm always active on Instagram at Ricky Tan, RICKKYT 4 A's in, and same thing with Snapchat. I don't know. Do you do like the links where people can follow after?
Uh,
I'll
yeah,
send you the links, and you can, just yeah. I'm a right now in this business, social media, it's amazing because, you could literally be connected to the whole world. It's an amazing platform. So I'm always active on that. And yeah, so usually Instagram or Snapchat and Facebook, but that's mostly, I use that for family and friends like that. So
you- uh, earlier you mentioned Jason sent you a friend request on Facebook. Have you guys
yeah.
actually spoke, or you just seen?
No, like I said, he added me like I want to say 2 months ago, and it was just like, who's this guy? I went to his page, and then didn't think much of it, right? And then a month after that, my coach he tells me, "Hey, we got to fight," and then he tells me the name, and I'm like, "Yo, I know this name." So I was just like, "Oh, that's cool," It's just like I wanted to, but it's just like gotta keep it on the fight. We'll talk fight night.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. There's only so many heavyweights around here, so
Yeah, yeah. No, I've learned that the MMA community is real small, and it's pretty neat, man. It's cool.
you actually have what Ryan Williams trains with you, correct?
Yeah, that's right. I do know Jason, the Irish Bull Fonzi, so I decided, to train with Cowboy. His name's Cowboy, maybe I could wrestle a bull down. But yeah, no, Ryan Williams, yeah, that's one of my main training partners. Yeah.
Is that something that you guys struggle with, trying to find big bodies to train with? Or, I mean, I know you guys have a pair,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, no, we that is the thing, because as a bigger guy, there's lighter weights. They don't want to really, it's more technical. I really can't use all my force. But with my fight team right now, Team Pain, we have a good squad. We have Joseph Ramirez, who's going to be fighting in Bellator. I believe September 29th or the 8th. It's a Saturday.
29th, I
And
think.
yeah, the 29th. And then Chilo Gutierrez, he's a lighter weight, but this Saturday nobody was able to show up. So me and Chilo went at it, just more of the technical aspect and things like that. So it is hard, but thankfully through social media, I always, post, hey, if you guys want to train and we'd have experience, it's just finding bodies, fresh bodies all the time. So yeah.
Right on. And any sponsors? Anybody helping you out this fight?
This fight, as an amateur, I always told myself I really didn't want to, go out there and get sponsors. Once I go professional, I want to make the template. But my last fight, I do want to thank Bruce and Priscilla. They're amazing. They're my Pismo parents, and they she contacted my sister through social media and said, "Hey, your brother doesn't want to take our sponsorship. Here's this. Make some shirts for him, right?" So that I want to thank them, personally. And there's always people, approaching me and offering, sponsorships. But like I said, right now, I really don't want to worry too much about that. But that's something, in the MMA community that is needed. So, to be able to further advance at times. So right now, no, I haven't been looking for sponsors.
Right on. That's a cool story, man. I mean,
Yeah.
it's almost cost money to do this.
Oh, it does, man. Like a lot of people don't realize, like with the gear, with the fees at schools and stuff like that. But it's something that I'm investing in myself to further get.
Right. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. You definitely put on exciting fights. This one, this building your what'd you say, 3-0?
3-0, yeah.
He's 4-0. It's two heavyweights, main event for the title. Pretty excited. They got the cage at the facility. Did you like that better than the ring?
I liked it way better. The fight was not stopped. I didn't have to be recentered, controversial calls. So it's just like it's a ring. So once that cage door closes, it's on.
Right on. Well, I appreciate your time. Like I said, or like you said, you're very busy training and working and trying to, get everything in line right before the fight. It's less than 2 weeks?
Yeah, it's 12 days, I believe now.
Yeah. So April 25th in Livingston. It's going to be at the 5150 Fitness Center. So 5150 Fight Night 5, Ricky Galvez for the heavyweight title. Thank you.
Let's get it. Thank you, Nick. I appreciate it, man.